Have you lost weight only to gain it right back after returning to your routine? Did your diet work for someone else but not you? Rockin' That ID Life helps you understand your genetic makeup to find a lifestyle that fits your needs. Together, you and RockinThatIDLife.com can focus on your health and meet your goals today. That's RockinThatIDLife.com.
Center Ice Brewery is a proud sponsor of Let's Go Blues Radio. If you haven't heard, Center Ice Brewery beer is now exclusively available at beer stores around town, so make sure you pick some up on your next milk and eggs run. That's Center Ice Brewery. Please drink responsibly.
This is the summer edition of Let's Go Blues Radio. I am your host, Jeff Ponder. Thanks for tuning in this week for another summer episode. Make sure to stay tuned in all summer with Let's Go Blues Radio as we bring you exclusive hockey content you won't find anywhere else, no how. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by RockinThatIDLife.com, where we help make every workout, every meal count. We do life better, and we hope you will too. And by CenterIceBrewery.com, St. Louis's wonderfully crafted hockey-themed beer found at local grocery stores and liquor stores in the St. Louis area. This is franchise episode number 372 all time. This is season 10, episode 54. Welcome to the U.S. military members. If this is your first time watching or listening, I say that because it's a very special episode of Let's Go Blues Radio. We welcome in a couple of military members of the U.S. military, which we'll get to in a second. Just a reminder to anyone who might be new listening to this episode of Let's Go Blues Radio, we record a video with every single podcasted episode. So if you are listening to the podcast right now, wherever you get your podcasts, we also have video with every show on Facebook and YouTube. So make sure you check out our YouTube channel as well as our page on Facebook. If you just search Let's Go Blues Radio, it should come right up. So again, with this episode, we have some very special guests from St. Louis Blues Warrior Hockey. Before we get into the guests, I do want to send a big thank you to Kelly Buckaloo, the director of marketing. She helped put this together. So the two guests that we have, first I'll mention my friend, Josh Yakel, guy I've known for a long time, playing roller hockey actually over at Madison and Queenie. Guy that whenever I need a goalie in roller, he's always one of the first guys I text. He is a National Guard member. We'll get to exactly what he did for them and how he's involved in Blues Warrior hockey, but a big thanks to him as well. And him and Kelly both introduced me to his assistant captain on Team Delta from the St. Louis Blues Warrior hockey program, Nathan Geno, a dude who I honestly hit it off with pretty quick. Pretty nice, very nice dude. And now my friend. We're Facebook friends. That means that we're like actual friends, right? That's the way it works. So it was an honor to sit down with these guys. Just, again, two grade A individuals, obviously two service members who we thank gratefully for all the work they've done for the U.S. military. And it was an honor to sit down with these guys. So we sat down at the Maryville Hockey Center in Chesterfield. Quick story about this interview you're about to hear, as it is a little interesting. So I told this story last week if you heard our episode, but I'll tell it again real quick. We actually conducted an interview a couple weeks ago. For those that listen to the show know I took a vacation recently, went to Panama City Beach. But before I left, I interviewed Nathan and Josh at same place at Maryville Hockey Center. And we had the video up, and I have a backup audio recorder that I use with every single episode. And so long story short, again, for those of you that listen to the show know I've had a basement leak recently that I'm still working on getting fixed. I am currently set up in the basement. This is where all of my work stuff is. This is where all my podcast stuff is. Long story short, I set my camera right over here. Set my memory card next to it, and at some point my cat decided to jump up and knock it off while I was on vacation. It wasn't even noticeable really. It was just a slight little bit of water that got under my desk, and of course it ruined that memory card. So I lost all the footage from that original video, and unfortunately I had the backup audio, so we recorded the interview again. after I got back from Panama City Beach. Only problem was it was a very busy day at the Maryville Hockey Center, and a lot of kids practicing, lots going on, kids all over the arena, parents all over. I don't know if it was tryouts for the new season, practice, whatever it was, very loud. So some of the audio when I got home, it was pretty unintelligible, unfortunately. Someone like Nathan, he's a very big guy you don't want to mess with, soft-spoken, but Josh as well. Just some of it, it was hard to listen, but since I had the original audio from the original interview, I went ahead and kind of spliced that in from the previous interview into the new interview. So if you're watching the video, you'll kind of notice there's times where we show images instead of the video. And if you're listening to the podcast, it'll sound like, oh, there's a lot of hockey going on. Now there's nothing. It's a little broken up, but I think with all the heavy editing I did, it turned out pretty good. You tell me, maybe you don't think so. If there's a part that sounds unintelligible, just give it a minute. It'll pick back up. I promise. I did a lot of editing on this to make sure it sounds great. So having said that, we're going to bring you this interview with Josh and Nathan. And again, 2 service members it was a privilege to sit down with. And remember, we bring you this type of content all summer long. So make sure you're tuning into Let's Go Blues Radio every week as we bring you more information, more stuff from around St. Louis that involves hockey. We're going to take a quick break here from our friends over at RockinThatIDLife.com and Center Ice Brewery. And when we get back, you will hear from Nathan and Josh, 2 great service members of the U.S. military and of St. Louis Blues Warrior hockey. Every beer league hockey night, I grab my hockey bag and sticks and throw them in the trunk of my car. And the very next thing I do, I mix up a boost of energy courtesy of RockinThatIDLife.com. It's formulated to break up its delivery in 3 ways, which helps me get through all 3 periods of hockey. Phase 1 provides a rapid onset of energy, concentration, alertness, and motivation. By period 2, I'm receiving a dose of sustained energy, increased focus, metabolism, cognitive function, performance, and feelings of well-being, which I need with the way I play. In Phase 3, I'm getting fatigue protection without jitters and crash, an elevated mood, and a reduction of fluid retention to help me make the big play when it counts. This same triphasic approach helps me when I drink it during work hours or simply just for a pick-me-up when I need it. Try one of the 4 energy flavors by visiting RockinThatIDLife.com, but make sure to email Dustin at RockinThatIDLife@gmail.com and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you to receive an additional 10% off your order. That's RockinThatIDLife.com.
Do you like hockey? Of course you do. Do you like beer? Of course you do. Are you 21? Let's hope so. If you answered yes to all of those questions, run on down to your local beer distributor and pick up a 2-4 of Old Arena Lager, the Beauty IPA, or any other delicious hockey-themed beer from Center Ice Brewery. That's right, Center Ice Brewery beer is available at various beer stores around town, so check around for the one closest to you. That's Center Ice Brewery. Let's go Blues.
Hey guys, it's Jeff from Let's Go Blues Radio. Today we're joined by a couple special guests. Josh Yakel is on my far right, and Nathan Geno, both from Team Delta of the Blues Warrior Hockey, which is a great program made for military veterans to come back and play hockey with the Blues logo, as you see here. Josh was a Missouri Army National Guard E5 Sergeant. Nathan was a U.S. Air Force E6 Technical Sergeant. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on the show today. Yeah, of course. So, both of you obviously been part of the program for a little while. Josh, how long have you been a part of the program?
I started this past September, so 7, 8 months ago.
Okay. How about you, Nathan?
It'll actually be 2 years this November.
Okay.
Yep.
How does it work in Blues Warrior hockey? So, if anybody, maybe a veteran's wanting to join, do you guys play games in a normal league? Do you just scrimmage against each other and then play tournaments against other Warrior teams? How does that work?
A lot of our upper teams, our Alpha and our Bravo teams, they go against some of our top teams in the area. So the St. Louis Bullets, a lot of those upper level teams that they get some good competition against. For Charlie and Delta, we work with the Runway program to be able to kind of like put together scrimmages. So it's kind of depending on the time of the year. If it's prior to tournaments, we'll actually go against their squad, and they'll bring down some of their upper guys to kind of give us a little bit of a push.
Nice.
If throughout the year, though, we'll kind of do a drop-in style where, you know, they'll divide up rosters, us and them, and just kind of go from there.
So basically, if a veteran is wanting to get involved and, you know, has never played before, but it's just, you know, man, I really want to get on the ice with these guys, how do they go about doing that?
They can actually go to the stlblues Warriors website, and there's a list of instructions, things they have to go through, fill out an application. It'll get sent to our board. Board reviews the information, we'll get in contact with the player, and kind of walk them through the next step. So it's pretty involved. I mean, they're fantastic at walking anybody through the process.
So how many games have you played in the tournament style there, Josh? Josh is goalie, by the way.
I think I did 3 in Dallas, and then I had to go in towards the end to one of the games for the Charlie team. That's the only thing I've actually done that was sanctioned. Delta used to do a lot of scrimmages with the Winterland, so they're played quite a bit there.
Yeah.
Can't even keep count, but.
So again, you're goalie, you're a defenseman, right? Opposite set. Yeah.
You play forward, you said center, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay, so how comfortable are you playing center? You like taking face-offs?
I love them.
Yeah.
Just
Setup man, sniper?
shots right after that.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, my nature's always been to try and set up my teammates, but I mean, if I get some time and space, I'll definitely throw it in.
Yeah.
So, Nathan, you told me off air that you had actually never played before the Warrior program. So, for somebody who's maybe never played but wants to get into the game, what was that experience like for you?
Going on 2 years now, like full time, actually learning, being taught how to do, you know, the proper techniques,
Right.
stick handling, skating, all that.
Did you know how to skate at all before?
I knew how, not really.
Yeah.
I knew how to stand up, and that was about it. So,
On a scale
yeah.
from 1 to 10, how good of a skater are you now?
Probably close to 6. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. That's not bad.
I can stop.
So again, better than Josh.
Yeah.
So when you guys practice with each other, is it everybody on Warrior Blues, or is it just like Team Delta practices, Team Alpha practices?
We just recently revamped, so we try to divide it up by the upper teams and the lower teams, just so everybody's kind of balanced in their skill sets. I mean, you're not going to teach us the same thing you would our Alpha team because
Right.
they're further along in development.
Right.
But yeah, we still try to. A lot of our Alpha players will show up at Delta and kind of help coach us, and that's cool. Run us through. So
Very nice.
yeah, it's one big family as we go.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I mean, that's kind of the relation, I guess, between military and hockey, right? It's like you mentioned, everybody feels like they're on a family, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I know in the military, that's how people feel too. So being able to kind of marry those two things together has got to be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, locker room talk we always had in our roller games is no different than what you hear with us in
Yep.
there. So.
A lot of stuff that we probably can't mention.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Let's just keep that one under the rug.
So you guys are obviously part of the St. Louis Blues. I mean, you look at the jerseys here, just like what you would see on the ice for St. Louis Blues, just a different logo. What does that mean for you guys as St. Louis hockey players? Josh, we'll start with you, because I know you're a big Blues fan. You're somebody that, unfortunately, I call a friend. But but no, I know you're a big Blues fan, so that probably means a lot to you.
Yeah, it's euphoric. I mean, it's something you never think you'd actually get a chance to wear the logo on this. We made like some kind of rec team put together. So having the honor of actually wearing that note, jerseys just like theirs, and actually them supporting us and actually funding us is like a big deal, and it makes you. At least me, whenever I put that jersey on, I try and always make sure my game is on top notch, as opposed to like being careless or like, you know, I always just make sure I get that extra step that I need.
St. Louis native.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And so you grew up a Blues fan, I'm guessing?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. Who was your favorite player growing up?
Everybody immediately assumes, you know, it's one of the scorers, but Scott Stevens.
Oh,
Actually, Just the way he looked out for his teammates, protected on the ice. Nobody wanted anything to do with him.
I was going to say, I hope you don't take offense to this, but you look like a guy who would love Scott's
Right,
teammates.
absolutely.
And yeah, he was a great defenseman.
Yeah.
It was sad to see him go after only one season.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. So then, how did you discover Blues Warrior hockey?
Drew Boyd, one of our captains for Delta as well. We flew together the last couple of years in the Air Force. So I had been out a couple of years. We ran into each other, and he started mentioning, he got plugged into the program. And I was like, he wanted me to come out. I'm like, dude, I can't skate. Like, I'm terrible. And he goes, everybody's terrible. Just come out. And I was like, I don't believe you. Every time anybody's ever said everybody's terrible, I go out there and, But no, I came out, and between the practices and the skills classes they run in the team, I got up to speed. I felt like pretty quick, and to where I was able to get out there and be productive. And that's really, I've never been one to get embarrassed by stuff, but I just wanted to be productive on the ice. I wanted to be an asset to the team.
Yeah.
And by putting in work and stuff, I felt like I got there pretty quickly. So
I think that's kind of everyone's goal with hockey, is to always find that role that you play on the team. And I think especially on a 3-4 line team, everyone's going to play a role. So what's your role outside of getting the puck on net? Are you a defensive specialist? Do you do anything like that?
I can usually stay in front of just about anybody. And really it's just playing angles. I'm not the fastest guy.
How often do you screen Josh on this?
Not very often. I don't get too close to the net. So
you're not like me.
If I'm too close to the net, I've drifted too far. So
yeah.
He reminds me, dude, get up.
Yeah. No, he can be vocal.
He's a good.
There's times where I'll hear him going. That's exactly what you want. I'll hear him going, Ponder, to the right, to the right, to the right. Hey, sorry.
No, he's great about just giving direction and being able to say, hey, this is what I'm seeing. Move to the left so I can see the shot.
Yep.
Stuff like that. So it's helped me tremendously.
Josh, I want to hear about how both of you discovered Blues Warrior hockey.
So I heard about it years back, but I originally thought it was just like a tournament. And at the time, I was just doing nothing but roller. And one of the guys that I played roller with ended up joining. He's on Bravo now, Castelletto. But he brought it up to me. He's like, hey, I saw this. Give it a try. I'm like, I just saw this pamphlet or sheet, and I thought it was a tournament. I'm like, dude, I haven't played ice in so long, I don't want to embarrass myself. Last time I played ice, I went to push and just went to the board, so I'm like...
Well, you're a roller.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Roller goalies aren't allowed to be side to side.
So then recently, I want to say probably around November, saw one of my buddies that I grew up with. He was playing on also. I didn't know he played hockey, so I'm like, how'd you get into it? And then I've heard about it a little bit, and he gave me the information, told me, he's like, dude, don't even sweat. He's like, I never even skated before getting into this. He's like, so you'll be fine. So signed up, and then now here I am.
So again, you said you hadn't played ice in a while. When you jumped back on, you've been playing roller. Did it all kind of start coming back a little quicker to you since you at least have stayed used to the game?
Tracking the puck and stuff like that, yeah, it stayed pretty similar, but the leg movements and everything is completely different. Now that I'm getting really used to ice, trying to do roller and be able to slide across like I did or anything like that, I feel like now I'm horrible at roller hockey. Because
worse than before?
Yeah. Now I just stick. I'm like, oh no.
Yep. I've always said I don't understand why anyone plays roller. You don't move. You have to literally step to get across the crease. You can't just slide. So when goalies make the change to ice, they're like, whoa, this is so much easier.
Oh,
yeah, don't play roller goalie. It's the worst. Both of you guys, again, part of the Blues organization here. How often do you see Blues players and Blues alumni come around?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Our kind of primary coach is Rob Raymond. So, he's one of the guys that my dad grew up watching. So immediately when I said he was coming to lead the coaching staff, he was like, don't make him mad.
Yeah.
I said, I didn't plan on it. But the nicest guy.
And Rob Ramage, he's a guy who knows the game. He's been coaching a long time. So I'm sure getting advice from him, you're like, I should probably take that advice and use it. Any
current Blues ever come around?
Oh, all the time.
You see them all the time?
Especially practicing some team. They'll come through. Any number. My first month with the organization, Keith Kachuk and his two boys came out, and you're just sitting there, you're like, wow. You know? Keith was another one that I absolutely loved watching play.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, his sons are no different, and all of them are just out there instructing, teaching, coaching. Jamal Mayers has come out to some. Kelly Chase, you know, any number of them and stuff. So they've all been very nice with sharing knowledge and just kind of treating me like a peer. You know?
Yeah.
It's not so much a fanboy kind of situation as it is, you know, mentor mentee.
Yep.
So you're just soaking up everything they're throwing at you.
How about you? Goalies working with you at all? You ever had Jordan Pennington come on TV too?
No, we didn't get the chance to go to Enterprise and watch them practice one time, so that's pretty neat. But we actually have a great goalie coach with Mike McKenna. Just from him, I've learned a whole lot that even helps my roller game too, as far as squared up. And he's such a fun, upbeat guy that it's real easy to kind of like listen to and take what he's teaching you. And
We had him on the show. He can vouch that he is a great hockey mind and knows what he says.
he knows the game inside and out now.
That's great. So other guys that you play with, you know, what kind of skill level are you seeing, even from Team Alpha to Team Delta? Is there a lot of like Team Alphas, like these guys should belong to the NHL, or is it like still kind of close to your guys' skill level on Team Delta?
I would say Alpha and Bravo teams will gaining ground on each other in terms of skill. Alpha definitely pushes the pace.
Yeah, for the goalies, we have like actual group chat on our phones, and basically if somebody can't make it, ideally we like to have at least 3 goalies because it's completely different than when you're playing a game. Like you're doing drills and constantly seeing shots and you'll do breaks, so having a third goalie really helps cycle it out. We're getting better about having 3 at each practice, but I mean, I'm practicing against Alpha, Robin, like everybody, so you definitely get, I kind of like it that way because I can see a little bit more, it keeps me kind of like tuned and like driving, but you definitely, there's quite a bit of skill difference between each of them. Alpha has some pretty good players, I don't know, NHL. Watching some of the other Warrior teams though, like some of the Alpha guys on other Warrior teams are pretty phenomenal. But yeah, practices usually Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for the other teams, and then Delta usually has Friday and Saturday. So
Pretty early in the morning?
yeah.
Just like when you were in the service, right?
Actually, sleeping in.
Oh, God. That sounds awful.
Like, 6:30, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid and we had 5 a.m. practice in high school. It was like, I can't do this. And I remember my dad telling me, well, don't join the military then. I'm thinking, yep, you're right, I won't. Awesome. So, what parts of the world have you guys been to for the military? Josh, we'll start with you.
Pretty much just Afghanistan for me. We did one deployment there to rock clearance. I know the unit I was with actually just went to Africa not too long ago, so I guess they're starting to do other kind of annual training other places. But as far as me, I've only been to Afghanistan.
What about you, Dave?
Greece, Turkey, Spain.
Wow. So, what's one of your favorite bases you've been at? Or they all kind of blend together?
Gotta be the one in Anchorage.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. 4 years in Alaska. I didn't learn to play hockey up there, but I got a lot of ice time, and it was just a blast to get out there. You go from pond to every school that I went to ice rink.
Yeah.
There was ice everywhere. So for 9 months, you get to play all the hockey.
That's amazing.
And occasionally go to so.
Occasionally, yes. Sometimes you find. But what about you? Obviously, you've seen public bases yourself.
Yeah,
I know Scott's great, right?
it's all right. Most of the time we'd be at Fort Leonard Wood. Before we went to deployment, we went to Fort Bliss. And then one of the other ones we were going to train at a lot was Campbell. I'm trying to think which one. I would probably say Bliss, because we did have free time where you're past like quite a bit to do after this. Fort Leonard Wood, it's like, okay, I've been to all the places down in southeast or southwest Missouri, so it's not a big thing for me.
Yeah, all 3 places in southwest Missouri.
Yeah.
Not a lot to do down there.
No.
Well, awesome, guys. I really appreciate you coming on. Again, Blues Warrior Hockey. If anybody wanted to come out and see your games, is there a schedule online people can find, or how does that usually work?
On the website does show upcoming events.
Yeah, it does.
And then for like out-of-town tournaments we do, usually we'll have some way of streaming it so people can watch it online.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing all that information's on the website.
Yeah.
Okay.
All events we have projected out through the.
I guess I do have one more question. This guy's your assistant captain, right?
Yeah.
How good of a leader is he?
Very good leader.
You have to say that, right?
No, I mean, I'm happy with it. No, I feel like the captains we have on Delta, a lot of the functionality that we have basically all goes down to them. Coaches will give them an idea of things to look for, but they basically rally us all up, keep count, push out information. On the ice, they show leadership by, they're harder on themselves than anybody else. They try, if anybody starts losing their temper, they're usually the ones trying to calm them down. So no, they're between him, Boyd, and Buff, they're like really good as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. So, for you as a captain, I mean, is it very similar to how you were in the military, that you kind of have to take lead and take charge?
Yeah, I mean, really working with Boyd and with Buff, I mean, we're such a great complement to each other, our strengths and weaknesses. So being able to just kind of be in lockstep with that.
So I wanted to ask you guys, you brought some of your gear along. We mentioned the jersey. You can kind of see some of the goalie equipment there. But we've got some gloves on the other table. I don't know if you want to bring those over, Josh, and maybe the hats, and just kind of have everyone take a look at what everything looks like. So those are your gloves, correct?
Yeah, these are my gloves.
Yeah.
We got some that are in the pipeline. It's actually having our logo embossed on it and our name.
Very
So
cool.
it's just kind of a basic.
Just like an NHL type thing. You know, they all have their own names and the logos on it, and I mean, it's amazing what the Blues are doing for this. It's fantastic. And so those are the hats there. Are they fitted?
These ones are, yes.
Oh, that's the only kind of hat I wear. So I can't wear regular hats anymore.
I
It's
turn
so
my
weird.
head around a lot and it just rubs
Yeah.
the forehead raw.
Yep.
I'm like, no, I never could understand how people wear snapbacks.
Yep. A couple of years ago, I made a comment like, man, I noticed like, oh my, I'm too old to probably wear my hat backwards now, right? And then somebody told me, they're like, actually, it's a hockey guy thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to run with that. It's a hockey guy thing.
Yeah.
Anytime I was like, oh, you're too old to wear your hat backwards. No, I'm a hockey guy. It's cool. Guys, thank you very much for coming on. Obviously, I'm sure our audience is going to love hearing all this. And of course, thank you for your service. And hey, go win some hockey games for Blues Warrior Hockey. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
So again, if you're interested in streaming games or seeing their schedule or seeing the roster, seeing photos from some of the events they've had, go over to stlblueswarriorhockey.com. That is stlblueswarriorhockey.com. You can also find them on Twitter at stlblueswarrior. You can also find them on Facebook at facebook.com/stlblueswarriors. And on Instagram at St. Louis Blues Warrior Hockey. So that's all the ways to find them. But again, best bet if you're interested in anything, go over to stlblueswarriorhockey.com. Next week, we should have another live show. It'll be another Mystery Hockey Theater. This one we will be allowed to air. It's something that's already on YouTube. So if you paid attention to the last show, we had some issues with the game we tried to show. This is not going to be an issue. So if you're gonna want to tune in live if you can, Wednesday 9:15 next week, and be able to watch this game with us. Crack open a beer, enjoy the game, watch it with us as we comment throughout the game, and it's a very fun game. I don't want to say what it is yet. We did mention it last week, but it's a very fun game, very famous game in Blues history. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by ID Life, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment of your DNA. Visit rockinthatidlife.com for more information. That's rockinthatidlife.com and get 10% off by emailing Dustin at rockinthatidlife@gmail.com and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. And by Center Ice Brewery, which provides drinks brewed right here in St. Louis and is available throughout the city and county at numerous grocery stores, liquor stores, and bars. Visit centericebrewery.com to find a vendor near you. That's centericebrewery.com. That'll do it for episode 54 of season 10 of the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and don't forget, we'll be back with a show next week and the week after that. For Kurt Price and Bill Day, I'm Jeff Ponder, and I will talk with you next week. Again, thank you to Nathan Geno and Josh Yakel of Team Delta of Blues Warrior Hockey. It was an honor to have you guys on. This was Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues, and let's go Blues Warrior Hockey.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available. A look at fourth. I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
I want you to have a heart attack and die so that we never have to do this shit again.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to number one. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues. The Blues are on the ice tonight again. They're rough and tough and got the stuff to win. They'll always get one more, no matter what the score. They are quite a hockey team, my friend. They never give a single goal away. And to prove they are champions every day. 'Cause when it's said and done, they'll have them on the run. These old St. Louis Blues are here to stay. St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to number